You know, some of us think it's funny, some of us hate it, and everyone does it a little differently. What is it? Well, let's take a listen. Well, joining me is my good friend, Dr. FredaLewisHall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
I bet a lot of people can relate to that video, and my son Jordan's dog was in there. Her name is Pig, and boy, is she a loud snorer. I mean, she snores like crazy. So, Doc, what causes snoring?
Yeah, so snoring is caused in a very straightforward way. So when air passes the tissues in the throat, that air during breathing causes those tissues to vibrate. Now, a lot of people do think that snoring is just noisy and a nuisance, but it can be serious. It can cause to everything from unrefreshed sleep to very serious health consequences. Now, men are more affected by snoring than women are,
right.
And people who are over 40 and overweight tend to more commonly be snorers as well.
Right.
In the U.S., there are 90 million adults that are affected by snoring.
My next guest says her husband's snoring is so loud, she had to move out of their bedroom. Take a look at this.
Manny's snoring is so loud that I cannot get any sleep. On a scale of 1 to 10, his snoring is a 10 every night.
Deb says I have a snoring problem, but I don't think I do.
Whenever I sleep with Manny, I don't feel rested. I will feel groggy and even grouchy.
When she gets grouchy, she's hard to deal with. She gets irritable. It's not fun for either one of us.
I drive a Mustang, and I would compare Manny's snoring to the sound of my muffler.
She's definitely exaggerating when she says my snoring's as loud as her Mustang. I can't be that loud.
His snoring is so out of control that we sleep in separate rooms.
You miss the cuddling and the touching and the feeling and whatnot.
Manny is in denial. He's a smoker, and he will hide it from me. He thinks he's fooling everybody, but he's not.
I can't blame her.
I believe his snoring has gotten worse, and I need to fix the snoring problem now.
I'm sure I'm gonna die of something, but I'd rather die rested.
Okay. Well, Manny and Deb are joining us now, so welcome. And Manny, we heard from Deb that your snoring bothers her. She thinks I have a problem, but I don't think I have a problem. Are you deaf?
Well, I don't hear it when I'm sleeping. I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I know it bothers her, but and that really concerns me most because when mama's not happy, nobody's happy, so.
Well, but that's like a child coming to their parent in the night and saying, Mommy, Daddy, I'm thirsty, and you wake up and go, well, I'm not, go back to bed.
Right.
Well, you're not thirsty, so they go back to bed? You're not hearing it, so it's not a problem? It is a problem. It's keeping you awake, right?
It is. It shakes the walls. It shakes the walls. My biggest concern, though, is when he's snoring, there's times he actually stops breathing.
Yeah.
And then he'll, like, cough and start breathing again.
So, Dr. Freda, you mentioned that snoring can mean health risks. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely, and it's not just a health risk to the snorer, it can also be the snoree, if you would. I just made that up. Like Deb, who's kept awake by the snoring. So let me start with Deb. So these repeated nights of disturbed sleep can lead to a whole host of issues. Increased risk for car accidents to depression. So it's really important to address that part. But for the snorer, it's also a signal, or could be a signal. So studies tell us that snoring may be a serious risk factor for heart attacks and for stroke. And for both of you, the fact that you're really not getting a good night's sleep means that you could suffer from daytime drowsiness, which is dangerous for you, but may also be dangerous for the people who are around you.
So when should we be concerned about snoring?
Deb raised a big red flag, and that is this gasping or choking
Yes.
for breath during sleep. That's an important thing to notice. This may be a symptom of obstructive sleep apnea, and this is a condition in which during sleep, breathing is repeatedly interrupted by either shallow breathing or by full stopping for brief periods. Now, this is important because these interruptions in breathing may lead to low blood oxygen. And apnea has been seen as a risk factor for heart attacks, for stroke, and for diabetes. And so I would say observe and record.
Yes, ma'am.
Restless sleep, like is he sleeping soundly or is he moving around a lot? Insomnia, having a hard time getting to sleep. Daytime drowsiness or daytime sleepiness. Decreases in interest in sex, increases in forgetfulness, or changes in mood. If any of these things are happening to Manny, but also to anybody who's listening, this deserves telling your doctor right away.
Okay, and what can he do to help her, and himself for that matter?
Yeah, so there are a few things. Stop smoking. That's an important one. Avoiding alcohol is also important, and sleeping on your side may decrease it. And I think both of you should see your doctor, take all of the information, and then get a plan for addressing your lack of sleep and making sure that you're in good health, and to address your issues as well, to see if you've increased your risk for any of those very serious health issues. All right. And I'm going to wish you both sweet dreams. Right. Of course, there's lots of information on gethealthystayhealthy.com if anyone wants more information about snoring.
Yeah, you bet. Look, we want to hear from you, so go to drphil.com, send us your questions. I love it when you're here to talk about this stuff. I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. FredaLewisHall. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.